Focus on me. Me. Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to use Findmypast to research some of my UK ancestors or relatives. So I'll explain who I'm looking for and what I'm going to try to do, and let's cross our fingers that I get some good results, because this one, it's a little bit of an interesting story. Before I get started, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell, because it really helps out my channel when you do. And all right, let's just get started. So my 4 times great grandfather was Joseph Glew. He was born in 1800 in Rogate in Sussex in England. Joseph got married to his wife Hannah and they had 2 children, Josiah, who was born in 1828, and Caroline, who was born in 1829. Then in 1834, Joseph was arrested and for stealing potatoes, and he was sentenced to transportation to Australia for 7 years. He was transported along with his nephew, who was caught with him. I just think of all of the sort of crimes, like stealing potatoes, like how petty it was. They were really poor, so he arrived in New South Wales in Australia in 1834. I've traced his family on this end because I descend from this end. He had a second marriage when he got here and had a bunch more children, of whom I am descended. What I decided to do was to look back to his family in England and what happened to them. So I know that the wife, Hannah, died in 1835, the year after he was transported, which is incredibly tragic. Those 2 children were left by themselves. The 2 kids, Josiah and Caroline, were put into the workhouse. It was the Easebourne workhouse, and they were there. I know they were there in the 1841 census. Josiah was 12 and Caroline was 11. I can't even imagine what it must have been like for them. So they'd lost their father, who'd been transported to Australia. Their mother had died and they'd ended up in a workhouse. Like, it's incredibly sad. So I managed to trace Caroline, and she died in the workhouse. So she died at age 19, still in the same workhouse, so she clearly not really managed to leave or anything. It's a very sad life for her. But I hadn't managed to figure out Josiah. I hadn't found anything about him. So I decided that I'd have a look at Findmypast because I know that they are fantastic with UK records. I'm actually a friend of Findmypast, so if you use this discount code up there, you'll be able to get 20% off a pro subscription if you want to try it out yourself. But I'll show you how I go looking for Josiah. Let's hope that his story is a little bit happier than the rest of them. Okay, so I'm going to sign into Findmypast. And here we are on the home page. I'm going to type in Josiah's name, Josiah Glew, and I know that he was born in 1828. Britain. I'll put in Rogate because I know that's where he was. Oh, actually, I'll make it Sussex because that's just a little bit broader, just in case. One result. I feel like there should be more. Glew or Wright or Brown, Josiah or Benjamin or John. That's intriguing. Seaman, 1860, 12 months sentence. So these are the crime, prisons and punishment records. I have to see what this is. This is really confusing. Why would it have so many names on it? Okay, this is obviously a huge bunch of things. What is this? 1860. It says James Glew there. James Glew alias John Brown. So why did it say Josiah before? I'm just going to try to find the name Josiah Glew in here, just because I have to figure that out. It's an unusual name. I mean, you know, it's not really crazy, but it's unusual enough that I feel like there's not going to be many Josiah Glews running around the same area. Like, I don't know. John Glew or Brown, I mean, wait, that said James before, didn't it? So James Glew or John Glew or John Brown. This is confusing. This is obviously a criminal who used multiple names. Okay, this reminds me of some of the Australian convict records. John Brown. All right, I don't know what this is. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back, and I think that I'll just actually save the record, because, you know, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. The name Josiah Glew is jumping out at me, but I don't know how it fits in there, and that looks like a really lot of, like a big lot of papers. So I'm just going to add it to my tree. I'm not going to attach it to anybody because I'm not really sure. I'm just going to leave it blank and just come back and look at it after. Alright, so I need to broaden this. So I'm going to include name variants because I'm actually pretty sure that the name Glew can be spelled other ways as well. Sometimes it's G-L-E-W actually, so 41 results, that's brought up more. Okay, so do you remember name variants? Okay, British Army, baptisms. Those ones aren't really as useful. So 1828, that's got to be his. Rogate, Sussex, Joseph and Hannah, yep. So that's his baptism. I'm not going to add anything to my tree right now, but yeah, that's going to be him. 1841, that's also going to be him. At least I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to have a look. Okay, so yep, there he is, Josiah Glew. It says 14. He was actually 12. I don't know why that says 14. Union Workhouse. Let's just, yeah, there's Caroline, 11. So, yep. That's the two of them in the workhouse in 1841. So that was the last time that I was really sure it was them. So let's see what else I can find. But, I mean, it doesn't look like there's really, you know, any kind of number of Josiah Glews, so I think it all has to be him, doesn't it? Okay, I'm gonna have a look at this army service record. I've never looked at British service records before. Josiah Glew, that's gotta say Rogate. I don't know why it's Eogate. Private 70th Regiment of Foot, 1847, that would make him, well, I feel like he'd be more than 17 and 10 months. Oh, I don't know, I can't calculate it in my head. Oh no, that's probably right. Okay, let's have a look at this record. Oh, this is fantastic. These are so good. Look at all those pages. There's gonna be good stuff in there. All right, so at 17, he's joined the army. Okay. Private Josiah Glew. That does look like it says Eogate, doesn't it? Okay. 1847. Yeah, so he's been in the workhouse presumably up until he was about 17. And I guess whoa, sorry. So he was in the army for a year. Oh my God, sorry, my mouse is going really weird. So he was in there for a year and a half, and he served at Bengal. And he was discharged on a medical disability. Okay, character and conduct. Whoa, sorry. Zoom. Character and conduct have been very bad. Oh dear. Very bad. Oh, okay. All right, next page. Okay. These are actually really similar to the Australian military records. They're so good because if you have an ancestor who was in the military, it gives you a lot of information about them. Josiah Glew of the 73rd Regiment has been affected with a partially paralytic state of the left forearm and hand for a, I don't know, something period, reducing him unfit for military duty. The arm, yeah, okay. Complaint is obscure, and I'm unable to say whether the disease and then once again they go to point out that his conduct was very bad. Wow, okay. So it almost seems like this getting him out on a medical disability, they're happy to get rid of him because it seems like he's quote very bad. That's so sad. I mean, he was only 17 and what is that? 13 days treatment. Unfit for service. Yeah. It's just so sad because he was only young and, you know, look at his upbringing. He lost both of his parents before the age of 12 and he was in a workhouse with his sister. His sister, you know, died in that workhouse. Oh, this is great. So we know that he was 5'8", he had brown hair, he had hazel eyes, swarthy complexion, trade labourer. This is why these records are so good. They give you something like that physical description. I could have never known what he looked like. That's awesome. Actually, his physical description reminds me of my grandmother who, you know, was descended from Joseph Glew. Okay, this is his enlistment. Labourer. No. 5'5", he must have grown. He was 5'5" when he joined and 5'8" when he left. So he either grew or somebody's measured him differently. Record of service. And the last page. Whoa, sorry. Yeah, these military records, they are just fantastic. I highly recommend if you have any ancestors in the military, go and look for these records. It just gives you so much about them. All right. So let's see if there's anything else. So we know he was in the military, and we know they weren't too fond of him because they seem to all agree that his character was bad. I'm somewhat pitying him at this point because, gosh, like, okay, so that was 1847. That was when he signed up, and it seemed he was in there for a little bit, but yeah, like his character, gosh, that's, let's see if there's any others. Glew, no. Bummer. Oh, and then we're back to this one again. All right, okay. Let's have another look at this because there really doesn't seem to be any other Josiah Glews around. So if anyone was using that name, it was probably him. I think I'll have a look at it. I know it was a long one, but I'm going to have to dig into this and figure it out. And Sussex too, like, it's too big of a coincidence. It's got to be him. And Seaman, I mean, that's probably from when he was in the army. Oh, okay, this is a gigantic record. It's huge. All right, I'm not going to take you through the whole thing, but let's just have a look at it, you know, let's just start to have a look at it. Whoa, okay. All right, so I'm gonna see about this. Oh, John Brown. So Josiah Glew was using the name John Glew or John Brown. That's crazy. Just gonna kind of skip forward to see if I can find the bit about Glew. I have to request a warrant may be issued for John Brown. Counsel is received from something prison. That's for trial, okay. John Brown. I mean, this has to be him, right? So what did he do? He's been in a few prisons by the look of it. A dangerous prisoner. Bad. Oh my god. Dorchester is maliciously cutting with intent to maim. Okay, okay. What do we got? Petitioner humbly prays you honour that he may be sent out to Australia by the first ship. Your petitioner having no friends or prospects in this country. Oh, that's so sad. Was he trying to come to Australia to follow his father? Oh, wow. I mean, people didn't commit crimes to be sent to Australia. Like, being sent to Australia at that time was pretty bad. The ships coming out here were very hard, and the life that you had out here was very hard. Like, you did not want to be a convict. They were treated very badly. So if he wanted that, then all I can think is that he was desperate. He must have wanted to get to his family. Okay, what do we have here? 1861. Respecting Josiah Glew. Okay, so this is him. beg to forward the... Okay, this is his criminal career so far, as I'm acquainted with. 42, willful damage. 42 again, taking clothes from the union. 43, willful damage. 46, taking clothes from the union. The union's obviously that union workhouse, right? Where he was, sorry about that, 52. Convicted in the name of Benjamin Wright. So 46 to 52. So now he's Benjamin Wright and sentenced hard labour for stealing a what? Something in Surrey? No, I don't know what that says. Tell me if you know what that says. Convicted in the name of Josiah Glew, alias Benjamin. Okay, so yeah, we're definitely talking about Josiah Glew. So he's become a career criminal. Benjamin Wright and sentenced. Okay, goose stealing. Yeah, assault. Convicted in the name of John Brown. Sentenced to 10 years transportation. Stealing, oh, sorry. Back. Stealing bread. Oh. While undergoing the above, convicted at Exeter. He struck a prison officer on the head with a pickaxe. Okay. Right. Well. So he got a ticket of leave and was liberated in 59. And then, wait, that was in October 59. December 59, he's back in trouble for willful damage. He just couldn't seem to stay out of trouble, could he? Josiah Glew, alias Benjamin Wright, alias John Brown. Right, yep. So he's used a couple of different names. No wonder I couldn't find him. He's probably in records under other names. His own... Well, a soldier for charging a corporal with a bayonet. Oh my god. This is not what I expected. This is not what I expected at all. I've decided to cut that short there because that is a huge file. I had no idea how much of a rabbit hole that was going to go down, and this video will be really long if I take you through the entire thing with me. I'm going to keep reading it myself, obviously, and I'll update you if you're curious into what I discover. So, Josiah, I mean, Joseph Glew Sr. came out here as a convict for stealing potatoes. I followed his record in Australia and he remarried, had more children. He never committed a crime again. At least he was never caught committing another crime again. So it seems that he was reformed, or maybe he just didn't have the need to commit crimes anymore. Like he maybe had what he needed. You know, Hannah died and then Caroline died in the workhouse, and I thought poor Josiah left, you know, there all by himself, and I wanted to know what became of him. Did he, you know, have children? Were there relatives in the UK? Anything like that. I did not expect him to go down a far worse criminal path than his father had. Like, I have lots of convicts in my tree and I've never seen a rap sheet like that before. That was next level. That's obviously not his whole life. However, I couldn't see anything else there. There was no sort of death or anything like that. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is broaden my search, maybe expand a bit to other areas, though he did seem to stay in Sussex. But I'll have a look. Also, I've now got the names Benjamin Wright and John Brown, which unfortunately they're much more common names than Josiah Glew, but I do have something else to go off anyway, so perhaps he continued using his aliases. I don't know what to make of his character. Do you think that he was sort of created by his life? Like, you know, losing his father, losing his mother, growing up in a workhouse, losing his sister, not really having anyone. Do you think that that created, you know, a dysfunctional adult who committed crimes because they really just didn't know how to be a normal person in society? Or do you think he was maybe a born criminal? Like, his father was a criminal, even though he seemed to reform in Australia. Like, maybe, so when Joseph came to Australia, his nephew was caught with him. And I know another nephew, so another one of Josiah's cousins, was sent out to Australia a few years after Joseph. So was crime in the blood? Like, were they just sort of born criminals? I tend to sort of feel sorry for Josiah because his situation was just so sad that I feel like he didn't really have much of a chance in life. Like, I do think people are responsible for themselves, so I would sort of have hoped that he would have pulled himself up somehow. I guess I'll still hope that he does, maybe later in life. I'm going to keep researching and see what I can turn up on him. But I think this video is getting long enough, so I'm going to cut it short here. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any thoughts, please put them below in the comments section, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And do let me know if you have any convicts in your family, or if you found some great records on Findmypast that have helped you learn about your ancestors. Don't forget my discount code. I'll also pop it below in the description box if you want to give it a try. Okay, that is enough rambling from me. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!